It's a Fox 54 Weather Impact Day. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees. More heat ahead of the holiday weekend, along with high temps and possible rain. And take a look here. Don't let those flags blowing in the wind fool you. Neither that pretty blue sky. Today was a scorcher. We reached a high of 97 degrees. And there are no signs of the heat letting up. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, heat, rain, and holidays. What can we expect for the coming days this weekend?
Yeah, first and foremost, one important note, you're right. We saw that flag blowing in the breeze there, which kind of implies that there's a little bit of a breeze. And if there is, and I guess the flag is kind of proof that there is, it did nothing for us this afternoon. It's just kind of there to exist at this point. But to answer your question, what can we expect as we head into the holiday weekend? Well, the heat indices are going to be a little bit lower. The air temperatures are still going to be a few degrees above average. So yes, the heat is definitely going to continue, but the heat indices are going to begin to back off a little bit. And that's really been the problem area over the last couple of days, has been the higher heat indices. And we're still talking about some of that this evening. 111, that's how hot it feels in Fayetteville. It feels like it's 109 right now in Huntsville. It feels like 104 in Athens. Feels like 106 degrees right now over in Florence. Now, we have had some cloud cover move in over the last couple of hours, and that has kind of allowed the heat indices to back off just a little bit. Also talking about a little bit of rain up across southern Middle Tennessee, and one shower there trying to develop in the Huntsville metro. Still warm though, temperatures in the 90s. We'll talk about the holiday weekend in great detail here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, while we have our eye on the sky, a small plane was forced to make an emergency landing near Redstone Arsenal this morning after reporting engine failure shortly after takeoff. Officials say the plane, a Piper N78, came down around 8 a.m. on Martin Road near Gate 7. Here's a picture of it. The flight had just taken off from Huntsville International, bound for Upton County, Georgia. Hemsey confirms the pilot and two passengers on board the plane were not hurt. Redstone Arsenal officials say the pilot safely landed in the outbound lane just west of the gate. Multiple agencies, including NASA Security, responded to the scene. We now know human remains found in a wooded area in Lauderdale County earlier this year are those of a man who has been missing for nearly a decade. The remains were identified by investigators to be Robert Childers, a man reported missing in September of 2016. They were discovered in March after authorities received a report of possible human remains behind a home on County Road 10. Authorities say DNA testing through CODIS confirmed Childers' identity after the remains were excavated and examined by the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences. Officials say the case remains active as investigators continue looking into Childers' death. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office at 256-760-5761. A second person has been arrested in connection with an ongoing child porn investigation in Marshall County. Wendell Martin was arrested yesterday at the Marshall County Sheriff's Office and charged with 3 counts of possession of child sex abuse material and child porn. The Sheriff's Office says the case began weeks earlier with the arrest of Ricky Burkhead, following a tip from the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Investigators say evidence recovered during a search of Burkhead's home led to Martin's arrest. A Florence man is facing serious charges in Utah after police say he staged an armed barricade situation that caused a full jail lockdown. Investigators say Kevin Firmstone drove through a fence at the Purgatory Correctional Facility, then went inside the jail's lobby and stacked benches against the doors. He called 911 and reported armed suspects were barricaded inside. Authorities say multiple agencies responded, but surveillance video revealed he was alone. According to police, Firmstone was later detained at gunpoint as he tried to leave the jail, allegedly claiming to be an undercover officer. He is now in custody at the Washington County Jail in Utah. It's been 8 days since a 7.5 magnitude earthquake devastated parts of Venezuela, and rescue efforts have not faltered. Eliana Flores Corrado, a medic in Caracas, says when she realized just how serious the damage was, she made the journey to La Guaira to help. Flores Corrado also has family there, including a cousin she says they still haven't found. What should have been a 30-minute drive turned into a 3-hour journey as she traveled by motorcycle to reach those in need.
El caos reinaba
The chaos
en el
reigned over the
centro
city.
en
I've never been to a war zone, but I imagined that is what it would look like. When I got to the disaster zone, many were dehydrated. I helped many people suffering from heat stroke because the temperature in La Guaira is very high.
es bastante alta.
Wow. Well, she says over the past 8 days, every doctor in Venezuela, regardless of specialty, has become a general doctor. And although she says the tragedy has been devastating, seeing people from so many countries come together to help Venezuela has made her proud of humanity. As we await the judge's ruling in the lawsuit challenging Senator Tommy Tuberville's residency, both sides are making their final pleas. Attorneys challenging his eligibility filed a proposed order today asking a Montgomery County judge to deny his request to dismiss the case. The plaintiffs argue their lawsuit is about whether Tuberville meets the state's 7-year residency requirement, not an election competition. They claim he maintained a Florida driver's license until 2023 and voted there in 2018. Regardless of the ruling, either side is expected to appeal the case to the Alabama Supreme Court. Data centers have taken center stage across Alabama over the past several weeks, with Google moving into Bridgeport and moratoriums taking effect in Summerville and Fort Payne. And another Alabama city is working on ways to protect its citizens from the impacts of data centers. The Hoover City Council recently passed an ordinance that provides more oversight over development, now requiring each request to be looked at individually. Our team sat down with City Council member Derek Murphy, who says protecting the community's quality of life is crucial.
Anytime any form of a data center comes to our city, it has to go through a planning and zoning vetting process and then ultimately come before the city council. So it's controls in place to evaluate that to see whether or not it should be rezoned or allowed at all, right? But long term, it gives us some time to do a deep dive analysis on our properties and things of that nature, and making sure we protect our citizens and protect our community.
Murphy says it's important to keep people informed on how these data centers will impact residents if approved. We have a Fox 54 traffic impact alert for you this holiday weekend. If you're headed to Florence for the Spirit of Freedom fireworks, plan for heavy traffic after the show. Florence police will direct thousands of drivers through temporary detours to help keep traffic moving. If you're traveling west, you'll be routed from Highway 20 to Beverly Avenue and College Street. Eastbound drivers will use Pine Street to the O'Neill Bridge. For a full traffic forecast, tune into a late edition of Fox 54 News at 10. The Huntsville Police Department is holding safety checkpoints this 4th of July weekend across the Rocket City to keep you safe. The checkpoints are to cut down on reckless and impaired driving. Some possible locations include Church Street and Pratt Avenue, Clinton Avenue and Monroe Street, University Drive and Old Monrovia Road, and Bankhead Parkway and Douglas Lane. If you're stopped at a checkpoint, HPD says it's important to have your license, registration, and insurance ready. Sergeant Antonio Shorter says if you have your documents in order and you're sober, you won't be waiting long.
Absolutely. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to see my face on the checkpoint saying, "Hey, my name is Sergeant Short on the police department. It's a safety checkpoint. Do me a favor, have your driver's license and proof of insurance ready to go. These guys will take care of it." Simple as that. That's a 20 to 30 second encounter, man. You have your documents, you have your driver's license ready, your insurance out the window. We say, "See you. Everything's in working order." You drive on by.
And if you do drink responsibly. For the full list of possible checkpoint sites this weekend, go to fox54.com.
As the fronts advanced on the beaches, it was a rough 2 or 3 days.
We meet this World War II veteran who served as a meteorologist, one who pilots depended on as they navigate the skies of Normandy. Fox 54's Kate Baguayo has our Red, White, and You feature next. And while we celebrate the Spirit of America 250 Downtown Rescue Mission firing up the grill for its annual community picnic, we learn why it's more than just sharing a meal. The 250th anniversary of the founding of our nation also holds the 82nd anniversary since D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in history onto the beaches of Normandy, France. And it almost didn't happen, with multiple factors like weather and troop movements lining up just right for the assault. But Operation Overlord did go through, and victory in Europe won because of the work and sacrifices of millions of people. Fox 54's Kate Baguayo introduces us to Howard Poland, just one of the brave many who helped to liberate Europe from the Nazi regime.
You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you.
As the fronts advanced on the beaches, it was a rough 2 or 3 days.
Corporal Howard Poland was one of the meteorologists helping Allied forces predict the weather on a day that needed maximum coverage for the Army Air Corps without risking adverse effects on the invasion.
The general mood was one of these days we're going to be landing on the beaches in Normandy, and that was the beginning of the end of World War II.
They made a successful landing on the beaches at the estimated cost of almost 5,000 Allied troops and pilots before rapidly wresting occupied France from German forces.
We had mobile weather stations that were going ashore on barges so that we could see where the troops were landing. We could plot them on our weather maps where these mobile weather stations were, and were able to follow the front, so to speak.
And it took months of preparation, mostly in secrecy, to make the invasion into a successful Allied foothold in Europe.
We had to prepare weather charts. There were ways of little symbols on charts where you would draw the isobars and the isotherms and the high pressure areas and the low pressure areas and the movements, how these fronts would move. And this would enable us to make a reasonable prediction of what was going to be, at least in the next 24 hours.
But predictions said weather conditions would not be ideal on the original date, June 5th, which led General Dwight Eisenhower to delay the invasion.
He did change horses a little bit. He went from the 5th of June to the 6th of June because the weather conditions were not ideal. They were acceptable, but not ideal. And it was rough landing.
But Allied forces landed, made their way through France and into Germany, and created a Western front that eventually helped win a victory in Europe.
I was shipped home on a troop ship. The troop ship, I remember these things because I lived through them, was the SS Frederick. And we called it the good ship Freddie because it was taking us home.
Wow, very sharp. Well, 82 years later, at 102 years old, Poland now lives right here in the Rocket City with his daughter and his wife of over 70 years. For more Red, White, and You content ahead of America's 250th birthday, catch it right here on the Fox 54 app. And yes, lots of festivities on July 4th. America celebrates 250 years. We've got to look at what's in store in Mid-City, Madison, and Montesano. Stay with us. We've also got to look at this extreme heat. Jordan, it's a Fox 54 Weather Impact Day.
Yeah, it definitely is a Fox 54 Weather Impact Alert Day. We're currently talking about heat indices over 112 degrees in some locations. These are going to begin to back off a little bit for the holiday weekend. Good news. We'll talk about it in just a minute.
Over County 911, what's the address of your emergency room? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body.
No, sir.
The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? Leave the jury and find the defendant.
4th of July celebrations kicked off early today at the Downtown Rescue Mission. Staff rolled out their annual community picnic. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and shaved ice filled the menu, with everyone in the community invited to join. A bouncy house plus a donut eating contest had folks lining up. For the Downtown Rescue Mission, though, this was about more than just serving a meal. It was a chance to bring the community together.
We serve all the folks that are here regularly, but we also want people from the community to come and celebrate Independence Day with us. 250 years of really how God has blessed our nation. As a kid, at 4th of July, it was always about popcorn and hamburgers and hot dogs and shaved ice. And we want to supply that to folks that probably remember that from their childhood. So it gets them off the streets and makes them think, hey, this is something that I remember from my childhood.
Wow, and for many of the volunteers working at today's picnic, they have walked through the shelter doors themselves in the past. For Pastor Aaron Shively, to now see them helping those in a similar position was a full circle moment.
It's just really cool to see people in a different atmosphere than just being at the shelter. They get to come out here and kind of feel like they're part of a barbecue, part of a family. Just to get to see the men that have gone through the mission and now are doing well and have their own apartments and are back with their families and get to see their kids and the restoration that's taken place. It's just a great thing to witness.
Overholt and Shively, they add they believe the picnic had an extra boost thanks to the nation celebrating its 250th birthday. Oh yeah, tomorrow Lake Gunnersville will be full of boats just to kick off our 250th birthday of America. I mean, you just saw there, people are already celebrating early. There's more to come, and they have some weather to complement it too.
They do. At least it is relatively dry. We've seen a couple of passing showers this afternoon. But if I have to pick, when it comes to a holiday weekend, I'd probably rather deal with the heat than deal with the rain.
Why?
Well, the rain is going to send me inside, and I definitely don't want to do that. Whereas if it's hot out, well, I just have to find a way to stay cool.
That's true. You have a fan.
Exactly.
You have ice, you have water.
Exactly. There are lots of ways to keep cool, but the rain will force you indoors and most definitely postpone your plans. It feels incredibly hot this evening. Check out current heat indices across the Tennessee Valley. Feels like 113 in Fayetteville, feels like 109 in Huntsville, feels like 105 in Scottsboro, 108 in Coleman, and it feels like it's 106 degrees right now over in Florence. Now the good news is that these heat indices are going to begin to back off in the rather immediate future. As we head into your Friday, we're going to be done talking about heat indices of 110, 111, 112 degrees. Yeah, they're still going to be elevated as we head into your Friday, as we head into the 4th of July, and then even as we head into next week, but they're gonna be a little bit lower compared to what we've seen over the last couple of days. And the last couple of days have felt incredibly uncomfortable outside. It's still gonna feel uncomfortable this weekend, but not as bad as it was today, not as bad as it was yesterday. Picking up on just one lone shower up there in southern Middle Tennessee, Lincoln County, kind of sitting to the north of Fayetteville, kind of hanging out along the I-65 corridor there. That's really about it. Coverage really hasn't been as widespread as it was yesterday, and even yesterday it wasn't too terribly widespread. I do have other opportunities for rain in the forecast, though. It's important to take note of those. Small opportunity for a couple of passing showers on Friday and on Saturday, the 4th of July, but it's not going to be a complete and total wash. It's going to be very similar to what we're talking about today, where the vast majority of us are going to be dry, but don't be surprised if you run into a little bit of rain. Rain chances gradually increase as we head into the early part of next week. Here's Futurecast. By the time we get to the lunch hour on Friday, I think Futurecast is probably overdoing the coverage a little bit. I really just kind of want you to understand that there's a little bit of rain in the forecast. Through Friday afternoon, Friday evening, it comes to an end as we head into the overnight. I know there's a number of locations having their fireworks displays tomorrow. I do anticipate that we are going to be dry. Continuing Futurecast as we head into your Saturday morning. Maybe you're going to be heading out, starting your celebrations early. Have fun, do so safely. It is going to be dry. We bring in a couple of isolated showers as we head into Saturday afternoon. That activity could stick with us as we head into the early part of Saturday evening. By the time we get to Saturday night, though, we do begin to dry out. So fireworks on Saturday night should come with absolutely no problems. And then a slightly better opportunity for rain as we head into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid-90s. We drop into the low mid-70s as we head into the overnight. Got a low right around 73 degrees, 96 tomorrow afternoon, with a couple of isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Regionally, maybe you're traveling this weekend. Maybe you're going down to the beach. It's going to be just as warm across South Alabama, the Florida Panhandle. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Fireworks tomorrow evening. Temperatures should sit in the 80s, but it is going to be humid. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 95 on Friday, 95 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Hanging out in the lower 90s Monday and Tuesday, and then even through Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Oh yeah, the holiday weekend is almost here and the fun is already starting. We're celebrating our nation's 250th birthday. Mid-City District is hosting a 3-day Independence Weekend celebration tomorrow through Sunday, featuring live music, food, shopping, and activities across the district. The biggest event, however, happens on the 4th, of course, when the fireworks show is set to light up the sky at 9:30. The display is choreographed to music on Mix 96.9, followed by a fireworks after party in Apollo Park. If you're in Madison, Dublin Park is the place to be tomorrow night. Let Freedom Ring will feature live music, food vendors, inflatables, and fireworks show to close out the night. Check this out. Free shuttle service will run from Bob Jones High School to make getting there easier. And if loud fireworks aren't your style, Montesano State Park is offering a quieter way to celebrate. Families can join a guided glow night hike using UV lights and glow sticks to explore the trails after dark in a unique Independence Day experience. For a full list of this weekend's happenings and America 250 celebrations, go to FOX54.com. But what's going on with sports?
Well, more than 24 million sports fans watching Team USA defeat Bosnia and Herzegovina last night in the knockout round. I've got a recap coming up next on Fox 54 Plus.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping, real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Hey, good evening, everyone. For the first time in over 20 years and only the second time in modern World Cup history, Team USA winning a knockout round match. They punched their tickets to the round of 16 with a 2-0 win over Bosnia. Foul Balogun got the story and scored it early in the first half, but then he got a red card in the second half after stepping on a Bosnian player's ankle. That left Team USA to play with just 10 men. Eventually, Malik Tillman put the match away with a free kick in the 82nd minute to secure that 2-0 victory.
I'm a different type of person on the pitch. Of course, maybe you know it. You don't really see my emotions, but then if you score a goal like this, I mean, I think also you guys saw my emotions. And it's a great feeling, and of course, a very proud moment for me.
I think it's more a proud moment, and it's a moment that we can gain a lot of confidence from. We've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 4 games, and I think before then we didn't quite have the best record when it came to clean sheets. So again, it gives us a lot of confidence going to the next round.
Up next for the home squad is a battle against Belgium on Monday in Seattle. Kickoff on the pitch is set for 7 p.m. You can watch it live right here on Fox 54. And prior to that, sports teams from across our family of Techno stations are joining forces and providing a wonderful pregame show. You can watch that live exclusively on the Fox 54 app and Fox 54 Plus this Monday at 2 p.m. All right, coming up tonight after World Cup Soccer on Fox 54, we'll take you to the baseball diamond for some Trash Pandas baseball. Kanisha.
Yemo, coming up tonight on a late edition of Fox 54 News, 8 days after a devastating earthquake rocked Venezuela, hope and heartbreak are colliding. We'll hear from a medic who's seen it firsthand. A renewed push could change the future for dozens of Alabama death row inmates. By advocates and even a former juror are calling on the governor to spare their lives. Heading to the ballpark in this summer heat, Toyota Field is rolling out a new addition to help fans stay cool. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman takes us to Toyota Field to see what's coming tonight on Fox 54 News after the game. Before we go, check this out. A husband and wife found a creative way to keep their marriage on track through trains, like quite literally. Over the past 8 years, the couple worked on creating their own miniature railway in their backyard. The railway features a quarter-mile of track, 5 battery-powered engines, and thousands of custom-made railroad ties. They say it can hold up to 20 passengers.
That is the kind of disposable money I hope to someday have.
That's a key word, disposable money.
Yes, because there's no way any other money would ever be able to purchase that. But also, how did the HOA feel?
Oh,
that is a very good question. I'm just going to go back with the fact that 1, it's creative, and 2, it's almost like they're creating their own real-life version of Mr. Rogers' trolley tracks right there in their own front and backyard, I guess.
That's a good reference. But you know what? They're not too far away from the folks at Grand Funk Railroad that we've done stories on. That couple, so very similar.
I got some ideas there.
Yeah.
All right, one last look at the next 7 days. I suppose it's train riding weather if you have the abilities to do so in your backyard. You probably don't. 95 degrees on Friday, 95 on the 4th of July. A passing shower or two certainly going to be possible tomorrow and through the 4th of July.
All right, well, you heard it there. We have more show for you later on tonight after the game. We'll see you then.